Uh, I feel like I should not be showing my face. Uh, but yeah, I know we all share a group, but before we run into the course of the event for today, my name is Toluwase Olugbemiro. I really don't know, but my name is Toluwase Olugbemiro, and I think that's like the best way to describe myself. I do a number of things, host event, I do brand and comms. Recently, I'm learning marketing and sales, and Um, I'm experimenting with it. But in all of the things I've done, I think one consistent thing has been the fact that I've been looking for money, and which has led me to fundraising a number of times. Like very recently, I still look for plenty money. But yeah, that's all about me. Why I think I have a need to like tell you why I feel I can teach you this. In the start of this year, or I think around January, February, I needed money for something, so I I sold the course, right? Selling the story and I raised 75K, which is one of the ways you can raise money. You can sell information. Um, in March, I think March I had an accident. February, March I had an accident, and my PC got destroyed in the accident. And the first week, the week of the accident was my relaxing week. Or the next week, I raised 900K to get a new PC before the week ran ran out. And towards my event, I hosted an event in uh, May, right? May 31st, June 1.
We need
Towards
to,
my
maybe we should go to
event,
that
I
credit
needed
plan office
10
again.
million naira to successfully host my event. And I did not see this. The sponsors that would have given me money to that to make the whole thing easy. Things happened and they pulled out, right? And give or take, I raised about 6 million naira within the start of okay, the event was in May. So within April and May, I raised 6 million naira. Um, Mind you, we only had two sponsors and combined for the event, combined the two sponsors gave, I think one gave 150K and the other sponsor gave 400K. So that's 550K. So give or take, I had to look for 5.5 million naira. And more because post event now I'm still raising money post event to settle post event settle post-event finances, right? But that's basically why I think I am qualified to teach you or to share my insight, my experience around fundraising. I have some more that dates back, but these are the most recent. And I am very, very honored and privileged that you consider um, me a worthy tutor for this. Without further ado, right, we dive right into the course for today. However, before we proceed, I would like three people to just introduce themselves. Your name, what you do, and what you're looking, why you want to raise money. Then we'll go right into the course. All right, who's going first?
Okay, I have a question there. How are we supposed to, how are we supposed to like answer your question? Verbally or typing?
No, no, verbally is fine. I love verbally.
Okay, let me go first then. Okay, I have an event that should happen sometime in November this year, and I need to raise money for it. This is specifically expedient because somehow my job depends on the success of this event. That's one. Two, the location of the event being Abuja means that it's a little more technical than it would have been for me if I was working with like a Lagos audience to raise attendance or partnerships or sponsorships as it may be. And I have been trying to do that in the Abuja scene for about 6 months now, and it's not been funny. It's not been it's not been successful. I think that's the easiest way to put it. I'm joining this because I'm certain that I would get further insight on things that I probably haven't considered before, and insights that I could apply to ensure the success of this because it's the tag of the event is Tech Fest. It's supposed to be a tech festival that's to last for 2 days in Abuja, celebrating various aspects of tech, celebrating and highlighting various aspects of the tech ecosystem that most people are probably not acquainted with. And it's to be a huge event. We're looking at 1,500 plus attendees. So yeah, that's just to give you an idea of what's going on. There's a lot at stake.
All right. That's fair. That's fine. Who wants to go next?
All right. Can I speak? Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Miracle.
All right. So, good afternoon, everyone. All right. So, okay, the reason why I joined this study is because of the fact that
No, I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, but possibly when you're saying what you're saying, you can increase the volume of your voice, or you could try to be
Okay,
more
can you hear me
audible.
now?
Yes,
Am I audible enough now?
yes. Let me increase
Hello.
it. All right, yes.
Yeah, I said joining the meeting in order to know how to go about raising funds for a company I've started. I registered it in October last year. I've gotten some basic assets, but there's still more to get. So I believe joining this meeting, I will be able to get more insight on how to go about raising such capital in order to finance the project. So that's why I'm joining.
All right. Okay, that's fine. So who wants to go last? The third person. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Yeah, Faisal.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Faiza today, and why I need money? I'm currently co-convening the local Accra 2.0, and yeah, we need money for the event. That's for like my short-term goal, and the reason why I'm joining this at the moment.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So, hey, I hope I'll be able to cover as much as I want to. Just a disclaimer, for as long as this class would last, I may not be able to take every question that would be asked here, and that's why I created a group. So post this session, we still have access to the group and to ask me questions. And via the group, you also have my contact just in case you don't want to ask your question publicly on the group. So the session might not go into specifics depending on your individual needs, but I'm going to cover an overview of what you need to know, and it more like the basics of what you need to know, and some intricate other intricate details. For specifics, definitely at the end of the session, we'll have time to ask your questions, and then I can give specific insights. I would start with Yagezi's Abuja scenario, then move on to, I think it was Miracle that said he started the business, and then I would end with Faisal's LinkedIn local, and then would give room for any other questions that would come up. All right. I am going to be sharing my screen. And again, I'm also going to be sharing this material once I am done, so that we all have it or something. Yeah. So permits the cheesy heading, but basically, what we are going to be doing is to go over the basics of fundraising. So whether you're an entrepreneur looking for capital, a non-profit organization, or you're an individual raising money for your personal dream, whatever it is, basically this session is going to help you move from point A to point B. Point A being, apologies. Point A being where you are presently, and point B being where you intend to get to. That's having the money and being able to do what you need to do. So we're going to start with the basics. So what's fundraising? In simple terms, fundraising is raising money for an initiative. It could be a business, a vacation, getting a new gadget. If you've ever considered gathering money for anything, right? That's fundraising. I'm going to share an example from when I was a kid. I remember I like ice cream, right? When I was small. And there are times after a Sunday service, I go to meet my mom and like, hey, mom, I need money for ice cream. Ice cream was like 20 naira then, but because there was the big one, which was like 100 naira, that fan, the fan yogurt or something. There's the big one which was like 100 naira, and my mom would say that she doesn't have money. So I go around the church and try to get money for ice cream. And as a good person I was, right, I get for like myself and my friends. So at the end of the day, we have money to buy ice cream. And there was also this period, I think I only did this once, where you have like a promise card, where if the church is going on an excursion, they usually give us like a card printed. So we go about our community, we take it to school, we take it to parties, everywhere we can basically get people, and we walk up to people and tell them that, oh, we are going for this excursion and we are looking for money, right? And then we write the amount. It had like 3 columns, if I can remember. The amount that the person promised, the person's name, and how we can, 4 columns, and how we can, maybe like a phone number or something, and when we should come and collect the money. So we had like a date column. So amount, name, and phone number, and when we should come and collect the money. So you will see, I was trying to look for the picture of it, but I couldn't get anyone. But you would see various, you see 15 naira, 100 naira. Some people that was magnanimous then would give us 1,000 naira, 500 naira. And I think if I remember correctly, from my promise card, I was able to like raise 20K for the excursion, because I was just going around. I was like missing different people. I remember going back to the church the next week and getting an extra promise card, because the one that they gave me initially was already full. So when I went around to collect the money, I'd gotten like 20 gotten like 20K. So that's like a simple example that I can use and explain fundraising. There's a lot of buzzwords, and again, whenever we think of fundraising, most of us think of especially because we have access to the internet, we think of top tier startups raising like Sam Altman raising maybe $3 trillion for OpenAI, Tunde Onokara raising $1 million for Chess and Slums. And, we look at businesses and other individuals who like get to, and we somehow believe that it's one top tier initiative or one top tier skill that only a few persons possess, and maybe it's only at that skill that people can actually raise money. But breaking it down, bringing it to the simplest form of taking us back to when we were kids. For those of us who grew up in the church and maybe had to use the promise card or had to go on excursion, or even as simple as asking your parents or going around the church or religious center for money from people to get the items that you wanted. And that's basically what fundraising is. Because when you scale that up, what you eventually be doing is to also interact with people to get money for what you want. So now, going into the nitty-gritty of it, I think the first point that needs to be established is that fundraising is actually simple. Now, being simple does not mean that it's not difficult, right? But fundraising is simple. It's as simple as getting money from people, right? But yes, so fundraising involves people or humans, and humans are won by interaction, right? Presently in the world, we have about 8 billion people, and from the concept of how money is made, if you've done a research on money or a bit of reading on money, right? How money is made is via interactions with people. People give value to money or whatever is used as a means of exchange from way back in time. Whatever is used as a means of exchange, is the value of it is usually determined by the existence of people. So if you're one of the core aspects of fundraising is that it involves people that you know, people that you don't know. Sorry, is there a question? Okay. People that you know, people that you don't know. But more often than not, you do not need the 8 billion people, or you do not need the 200 million people in Nigeria, or the supposed 200 million people in Nigeria to get the amount of money that you're looking for. More often than not, you just need a very small fraction of that total amount of money, or that total amount of people to get the money that you're looking for. So to get the money that you're looking for, what are the few things you need to do? First is define your fundraising goal. So it usually starts with what do you need the money for, or how much are you looking for? What do you need the money for? Why do you need the money? And what's the time frame before it becomes too late? What's the best case scenario and what's the worst case scenario? Who do you know that can give you the money that you're looking for? Now, these are very, very important questions. Now, I'm going to take each of the questions. I know it looks very direct, which it is. It's actually as direct as it is, but I'm just going to take time a bit to run through it. So how much are you looking for? You need to actually be sure, or you need to actually know that this is the amount I'm looking for. You should be able to articulate in one breath. If someone asks you that, how much are you looking for? You should be able to tell them, oh, I'm looking for 50K, I'm looking for 70K, I'm looking for 3 million, I'm looking for 10 million, I'm looking for 15 million, I'm looking for 100 million. Now, it should come easy to you. Now, when someone asks you, if you walk up to someone, we're still going to get to that part of the discourse. If you walk up to someone and tell them I'm raising money, and they ask you how much, and you begin to stutter, and you begin to be like, and you begin to try to explain the amount that you're looking for. First thing is it's usually like a turn off, because the person is like, You're either trying to adjust the amount based on your perception of who you think they are, or you're not even sure what you need the money for, or you don't even need the money at all. You probably are just playing. So you should be able to articulate explicitly how much you are looking for online, offline, in your sleep. If someone meets you on the road randomly, you should be able to tell them that this is the exact amount of money I'm looking for. Now, the next question, most times that you get, someone might ask, why? So why are you looking for this amount? Okay, I want to host an event and I'm expecting 1,500 people. I'm going to be flying in my speakers. I'm going to be paying for a hall and everything. So there can be a blanket statement that covers the why. Oh, I need 150K. I want to get a new PC. I want to get a new laptop. So there can be a blanket statement that covers your why. And you can also decide to break down that why into its various components of maybe in terms of the items that are on the list of things you need the money for. And in most cases, the first statement that you make is sometimes appears not to be the real reason, because if you need a PC, so the person might, in quote, people might ask, oh, why do you need a PC, right? So there's another why, there's another why, there's another why that gets to the underlying reason why you actually need the money. You can save people the stress and just go straight to the point. Now, so money is a very tricky conversation, because for a lot of people in the world, money meets their need. So when you are asking or requesting for money from people, you are you're indirectly asking them to forego a need. Now it might, or to forego a want, or to forego a desire in order to meet your need. So you need to be very what's the word, certain of the things that you are saying. Now, people who have maybe special interest in you might condone the explanation. Now, except it is requested, really, I believe that you don't need to be explaining too much. How much do you need? Oh, I need 10 million naira. Why do you need 10 million naira? I want to host an event. I'm expecting over 5,000 people um, across 2 days. What are the items you need the money for? Oh, at the top of my list, I need 2 million naira for flying in my speakers. I need another 1 million naira for digital marketing. I need about 3 million naira to secure a venue for the event. Now, this goes down to what do you want to use the money for, right? What do you want to use the money for? Now you can begin to give them specifics of what exactly will be cleared off the list if they get the money. So I'm speaking in terms of event because that's like the most recent thing. That's like the most recent thing in my head. But for occasions where there's just one item on your list, why do you need money? Oh, I want to buy a new laptop. What do you need the laptop for? You can begin to start explaining. What you want to use the laptop for. Now, I think this is like the most important part of it. What's the time frame before it becomes too late? Because some people might actually promise you, some people might be sincerely interested in what you are doing, or might be interested in helping you. However, they might not be able to help you within the time frame that you require the help. Now, possibly I'm going to talk about that much later. What do you do? Or let me just talk about it now. So at times you get into situations where someone wants to help you, but they're unable to within the time frame. So in 2023, I was raising money for BCP 23, and I had someone who wanted to give me 500K. But I'd reached out to him, explained the event, and what I wanted to achieve, and like the line items that I wanted to clear off. And it was like, okay, within the first quarter of the year, he had actually expended his budget for that year, that he will not be able to accommodate any more in quote, extra spending or giving out in that sense within that quarter. Then he asked if the money would be relevant in the next quarter. I said yes, right? So what I did was to find someone who would give me the money because now I'll call it a high risk because some people eventually things might happen and they might not get to come true on their words. But because I have known this person a while and there's an established relationship and an exchange of value across a few years, so I was able to like take his word for it, and I followed up on it. So I got the money from somewhere else, and in the quarter that followed BCP 23, I got the money from him, and I was able to like balance off. I was able to like clear out the money I had gotten from someone else. So sometimes you get into situations where a person's help or the money that a person wants to give you, the person might not be able to offer it in that moment. So there are two things you can do. You can either in quote source for the money elsewhere. Maybe now you get to borrow it, or you can reduce the amount you can request. So the next thing I usually do is asking, oh, what can you do now? Like, what can you offer now? Or what would you be able to afford to do now? That's if it's very timely. I get to ask, what would you be able to afford? What can you afford to do now? And so I get responses. Sometimes I get, oh, I really can't help and stuff. So you need to, what's the time frame before it becomes too late? That has to be ringing at the back of your mind that, oh, I only have 30 days to get this. When I wanted to get my PC, I had people who promised me, oh, Tolu, we're going to give you money maybe like next month end. Can you wait a month? I mean, I can't wait a month and I want to get this PC within a week. Like by Friday, I want to have a laptop on my desk so that I can resume back work on the following Monday, because that would have made it 2 weeks out of work. And again, I was planning for BCP. And so there was a whole lot of things at stake that needed me to have a working device. So I couldn't like wait an extra 2 weeks to get the money that they promised. Eventually, I didn't even follow up on because I'd like gotten the PC to look ridiculous coming back and say, hey, you wanted to give me money for my laptop. I've gotten it, but please still send me the money. There are other situations I do that for, right? In that context, I didn't really follow up because I had fundraising for BCP coming at the front. So I needed to leave those cards unturned. Now, the last bit of it is, who do you know that can give you the money that you're looking for? Now, the who do you know, yes, definitely starts with people that you know, like that you definitely know. When I mean that you definitely know, that you have an existing relationship with them, and they might be able to offer assistance. Now, that it might not necessarily be all the money, right? It can be a percentage out of it, or bits and pieces out of it. But the wood you know that can give you the money that you're looking for is very, very important. So you need to, and if you don't know anybody that can give you the money, the internet is there. You can. We're going to get to that part of it, where you get to make a list of the people that can actually give you the money and maybe categorize them. So, but yeah, that's like on the section of defining your fundraising goal. Now, we'll move on to the next, which is the power of storytelling, right? If you have questions, by the way, in between, you can raise up your hand, and I would just get to take them when I pause, right? Or you can also drop them off in the chat. So you can drop them off in the chat, and I would also pick them up. Let me just open the chat up here so I can see it. All right. Now, the power of storytelling. I said here that money is found in interactions between humans. So this means that you need to get into conversations and communicate your pain to people in a way that resonates with them. And storytelling makes this easy. Now, storytelling is not really like it's not like a big deal in quotes as people make it seem. Storytelling is as simple as being able to communicate your pain points to people and ensuring that they understand your pain point. Now you can use relatable scenarios between yourself and the person that you're speaking to drive home your point. So more often than not, you need to actually sit down and get to find the underlying reason why you want to raise money and be able to identify if these people care about it or not. Now, the dynamics of the conversation might change depending on who you are talking to, but the core of it should remain the same. Now, what do I mean that the dynamics of the conversation might change depending on who you are talking to? So again, okay, I was raising which yeah. Okay, let me just use this example. Okay, let me just use the example that is even here. So when I wanted to raise money for my PC, the underlying problem was I wanted to solve was that I wanted to walk, and walking makes me less of a problem. Uh, it makes me less of a liability to people around me, and it helps me be productive. Right, please can we just leave our mics muted so that we'll be able to go through it. If you have questions, you can drop them in the chat. Now, so it was easy to speak to now because I knew the underlying, I was able to identify the underlying reason why I wanted to raise money. It became easier for me to highlight that in my conversations with people and to even know the people I would get to approach. So to raise money for my PC, I approached people that I've worked with, either in the past or I'm presently working with. I actually sent messages to my boss across all the places I was working. I'm like, go see, I need money to get a new PC, and I want to get it within this time frame. There's one company that offered to send me a laptop. I said no, that I actually wanted mine. That's shy. It was, just being audacious and cocky at the same time. But reached out to people I'd worked with before and people that I worked for, and I also reached out to other persons who my not working makes me a liability to them, because if I'm not making money, someone I shall be messaging for money, something like that. But yeah, so it was easy to get them to understand my pain points. And again, they understood that, oh, Tolu works, right? And without his PC, Tolu would not be able to work. And if Tolu is not working, Tolu will not be able to make money. Even people that I usually give money to, I also went to meet them that after I know get my laptop don't spoil. What happened? I had an accident and my laptop got spoiled. So I need money. And they were able to resonate with that pain point for various reasons, right? And they committed resources to helping me get my laptop. So there's also like the effect of raising money in public. So when I wanted to raise money, although this was actually very, very experimental, I went to Twitter and I made a tweet that, for my next magic trick, I'm going to raise 900K in 2 weeks to get a PC. So when I got the first 50K, I quoted the tweet and I sent an update. When it became 100K, I quoted the tweet. When someone sent in 10K, I quoted the tweet. When someone sent in 5K. So I was updating that same tweet, and somehow people picked up on it. And someone even told me, a friend of mine told me, I was like, Tolu, some people were discussing in my department today, because I live around a school environment. They're discussing in my department today. They were talking about one guy that is raising money on Twitter for a laptop. And I was just smiling. He said that he knew that it was me, but I was like, wow. So it went that far, right? And it was exciting. In quotes, it was exciting to see. People love being pulled into the story. People actually love being pulled into the story, being made part of the whole conversation. So doing it publicly, I love Twitter because it helps. It's very, very informal, right? There's no need to post a picture. There's no need to compose a lengthy, what's it called? A lengthy prose like LinkedIn would demand from me. I don't need to dance in front of a camera on TikTok, right? I could just basically write text and quote it as much as I want to get to the end of my point. So I kept on like updating it. And when I hit 500K, someone slid into my DM. I was like, guy, how much is left? I said 400K, and the person sent me 200K. I was like, that because he said because he saw the work. So I reached out to the person initially and I asked for money. The person said like he doesn't have money, right? But like he said, he has seen the work I'm putting into getting the money, and he felt compelled to assist me. So he sent in 200K. Someone reached out to me randomly on Twitter and said that, oh, he saw my tweet and saw that I was raising money and saw the amount I had gotten, and would like to send in 100K. Person sent in 100K. So that was about 800K. So on the morning of so I'd spoken to my person, the vendor who got me the laptop, and I told him to send the laptop to Accurate, that before evening I was going to send in the balance of the money. So when I got in the 500K, I sent him 500K. I told him I was going to send 400K before the ending of the week. Unfortunately for me, I was able to like get it. And one of the things that helped me was because I think across my WhatsApp and across my Twitter, I sort of like brought people into the conversation. I shared like regular updates. Again, it was an experiment on how on basically how like social media could help in with amplifying my voice. And I think I picked up. I think the idea actually came from there's a friend of mine or someone I know on Twitter. I'd met him before. I think last year, and he wanted to like raise money for a new PC, and it was his birthday, so this had like an emotional intro to it. It was his birthday, and he said the only thing he wants for his birthday was a new PC. So one of his friends made a tweet about it and showed like a WhatsApp chat of how much that he needs to get, and they put his account number there. Now, similar thing, the person was, when the money was coming in, I think the first person that even did this that we know is Davido. I just remembered when it was his birthday and he opened an alert account and was sending regular updates of the money that was coming in. He did this on his Instagram story, but basically that's like the whole concept. So it brings people into the fray. So even the 5K someone sends, if the person sees that, oh, you actually posted your account balance, or you shared like an update of the money that came into your account, oh, I sent 5K, and you actually posted it. It's because when again, when you're raising money publicly, which is some things that some of us would face, is the fact that when certain people have a perception of you that, which is in quotes, that you have money, right? Which they also have of me, that I have money, which I don't, right? But certain people have perception of you that you have money. So when you're looking for money, in their mind, they're like, I have 1K. What will 1K do to the money that Tolu is looking for? Like when I was raising money for my event, someone sent me 1K. I'm like, okay, thank you. Right? Someone sent me 5K. I was like, I'm looking for 10 million. And the person sent me 1K. I'm like, okay, thank you very much. I have nine or nine. I say I have a lot of money. At least I'm no more looking for 10 million because he sent me 1K, right? So some people have a perception of that you have money and that the little that they might offer might not be appreciated. Again, we're going to touch that in the latter part of the conversation. So they might have that perception that you have money and the little that you might get to offer might not be appreciated. So they are reluctant to even assist with the little that they have. But if you remember the fact that money is found in the interactions with people, if I an example, if I want to raise 100K now, what comes to my mind first is the fact that 100K is just 10K from 10 people, right? So I need 10 people who can give me 10K. And in fact, I have it in my notes. I wanted to, okay, you can't see my notes because my writing is very, very terrible. On paper, it's very beautiful on the screen, but I have it in my notes somewhere. There's a project I want to jump on in like the next 2 months, and I want to raise 500K for it. So across it, I wrote 5 items and I put 100K in front of the 5 items. And breaking that down is I need 10K per project. I need 100K per project or per the line item that's on the project. And I need 10 people per line item that is going to commit 10K to me. Breaking it down further, I need 20 people that will give me 5K. It's not a lot of money. If I break it down further, the only thing that happens is that the number of people who gets to commit to it increases, but eventually you still hit the mark. Then I was trying to look for there was one post of a lady who shared her work set. She was learning, she's a designer, she was learning UI UX design, and she shared how she was learning. So she had the faulty phone and the faulty PC and a faulty screen, one of all these monitor screens that she found in her. So she used, I think it was a faulty phone to a faulty screen, but she used the mouse, a good OTG mouse, and connected it to her phone. So she opened Figma on her phone and she was designing from the phone connected to it. Was a very messy setup. So people saw it, and the design community, Nigerian design community, someone just committed to sending her money for a new PC. And it just actually takes one person. It just actually takes one person. Sorry. It just actually takes one person to start, and especially if it's a public conversation, one person to start, and the rest, the remaining people sometimes just get to pick up on it. Now, this is the most important part of raising money, because now raising money involves people. You need to identify the people who can give you money. So as with running a business or hosting an event, everyone is not your target audience. This implies that not everyone will give two hoots about what you're looking for. So you have to find those people who can help. Now, this is the part where I was talking about earlier. So you have to draw up a list. One of my notepads, and I think I also have, which I'm going to share that screen at the end. I have a list of the people who I wanted to get money for. So for BCP23, I had a list of people I wanted to get money from. For BCP24, I had a list of, now some of these persons are on my list. I've never had an interaction with them. So that's why, but also from what usually starts my list are family, friends, and enemies. Yes, specifically family, friends, and enemies. I don't really, when I'm looking for money, I don't really care whether you're on good terms with me, right? So far I know in my heart that you can help me, I will slide into your DM. I'll put a call through, and I'm gonna ask. Now there's a psychological bias behind it, because if you're asking someone who's not on good terms with you for money, the person will feel as though you would become indebted to him. But in my heart of heart, I don't have shame, and I have no ego, and I have no pride. Whatever you feel, is fine, right? What's at the back of my mind is that I hit my goal, I hit my target of the amount of money I want to get. Acquaintances, popular personalities, philanthropists, startup founders, etc. So based on where you are, where you stand, you can get to create a list of people that can assist you in that sense. So church members, departmental mates, past friends, friends from secondary school. Yeah, I called one of my friends from secondary school who had traveled out, and I think we had not spoken in like 3 years. But I just called her and I'm like, we'll see, this is what I'm looking for money for this. And she was like, oh, well, that's fine. And I got what I was looking for. So the list is endless. So you understand who your ideal in quote donors are and their motivation for giving you. There's a context of you being, there's a context in which for some certain sets of people, they'll ask you to return their money. If you can, commit to returning it. If you can't, don't take their money. It's very, very important. I just felt I needed to mention that there are people who would ask you to return their money. There are people who would ask you not to, right? So for those people who would ask you to return their money, if you can return it within the time frame that they give, do return it. If you can't, don't take their money. Again, don't take their money. It hasn't happened to me before, right? But there are situations where things get messy and the lines get blurred, and yeah. So getting into it, preparing to receive money. A lot of us want to get money, but we are not prepared to receive the money that we are looking for. So for example, right, I give an example how I reached out to one of my friends outside the country, and she needed to send me money, and I definitely had the account that I would use and collect the money. But I've met a few persons who I think there was someone who was trying to get money. This is a friend. He's a designer, so he had worked on a project for an international client. But while like putting the project together, he had thought that they would be able to send in the equivalent in naira, because again that was the initial agreement, but they weren't able to, and he had to start looking for how to like get a DOM account opened, and so this was like in 2018, 2019. So in my head, I just took a learning from that eventually I'll need to get money. I'll need to raise money from people in diaspora, right? And in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, I started considering the possibilities of opening a DOM account. I eventually did it, right? But I started considering the possibilities. So what I did as an alternative was to look for online wallets, which had the ease. It's the stress of going to bank that they're not making open a DOM account. But I started looking for online wallets that basically offered me ease. I could like set up my account from the comfort of my home, because I knew sometime in the future I will definitely raise money from diaspora. And yeah, so one thing, I think the first thing to do when you have considered the fact that you want to raise money is to set up yourself to get the money that you are asking people from. Again, you might not have to consider it, because if you are not considering the fact that you can actually raise money from diaspora, then definitely you don't need any means. But the overall concept here is to prepare yourself to receive the money that you're looking for. Right? Prepare yourself to receive the money that you're looking for. Another example would be when I wanted to get money for BCP. There's someone who wanted to send me money, a lot of it, actually. To me, it was a lot of money. To him, it was just about 300, and I think he sent an equivalent. He sent $348, which at the time was half a million. And I kept on following him up. I'm like, hey, what's up? I knew. So eventually, he now told me, this was like a week to the event, and I just messaged him. I'm like, I want to conclude if this money is coming in, so that I can like zero my mind out of that. Zero my mind, it's not coming or it's coming. And then he now opened up to me. I was like, I told you the issue is that I've been trying to find someone that can convert the money to Naira for me. So I've not been able to get. I'm like, I have accounts that can collect the money. Just send it. Let me bother with the conversion, right? So I provided account details, and then he forwarded it, forwarded the money to me. That was very useful money 1 week to the event, right? He forwarded the money to me. So that's like a scenario. Now, you might not necessarily need them. I think like the example I wrote here, right now I have on my contacts a Malam who changes foreign currency to Naira, and on another I have like 2 or 3 Burundi change guys on my phone. Now I've never called them before, right? I got their number in 2021 when I was walking through. We had gone for a project. The place I work, we had gone for like a project. No, I'd followed a friend to change money. She was going on a vacation. So she needed to convert her Naira to dollars. And so she had gone to Burundi change. So while we were there, I started the conversation with one of the Malams there, and we were just vibing and vibing. And it was like, if you want to change money, no worry, just call me. I was like, okay, sure, no number might come in handy, and I got his contact, right? And I know there's a friend of mine that needed to change money very, very quickly. And I just sent him the guy's number, and they were able to make transaction, right? So it's more often than not, when I establish a relationship with a person, it's not on the basis of whether they'll be valuable to me now or not. The fact that this person has positioned himself as a person of value, whether or not I might need this service, I might just need to establish a relationship with him, have his contact on my phone. And when the time comes, I will just remember that, oh, I met someone XYZ year, and I still have his contact. And that's how it has been. So as a backup, I also have like founders of FX platform, payment processing platforms on my phone, just in case. Anything can happen. An example, right now, the CBN is clamping down on Burundi change guys and wanting them to be registered, right? So somehow, money through black markets, eyes might be on it, right? So you go through the guys who are registered licenses and everything, those guys who process payments for who process cross-border payment and everything. Like, I have like contacts for that particular process, right? So some of the things you need to put in place: accounts that can hold the money you're looking for, Naira, dollar, pounds, preferably. Ensure there are no restrictions on your account. Yeah, one of the things I also did towards the time that I was raising money for BCP. So the last BCP was like the first event that I would be raising that huge an amount, and I needed my account to be able to hold and take the money. So in case someone just wakes up and like, Tola, I want to send you 3 million. I want the money to be able to hit my account, and my bank will not flag it as fraud. So I've taken necessary procedures, checked that my accounts were in the tier 3, and checked the limit of each of the accounts. And I even went further to like open an account in BCP's name, just so that anybody that needs to send me money, right? There was someone who needed to send money to the account that had the name of the event. I had an account already prepared for that. So, oh, you need this? Don't worry, I have it. Because I sent the personal account initially. He was like, no, he doesn't trust personal accounts. That if I have an initiative like this, I should have an account that reflects the name of the initiative. I'm like, my apologies. Then I sent the one that had the name of BCP. So you can have a deck where you get explain what you're raising the money for. If you're raising for a business and event, you need to have your deck ready, and you need to have your deck. You need to have you need to have a deck, and you need to have flexible formats of the deck. So you can have it in PDF, you can have it uploaded on Google Drive, and you have a link that is handy that people could, that instead of people just downloading the PDF, or you have to just, they have it handy, right? And you also have like a copy that you can always update, giving the person that you want to send it to. So if you're preparing a deck, you definitely possibly need to prepare a deck on Canva or on PowerPoint. So something that you can easily make edits to, right? And you necessarily do not need to call a designer. And if you're a designer, like I have design skills too. So I have the format of my deck on Adobe Illustrator. So I get in there, make the necessary changes, and go out. I have it on Canva. I have it on Google Drive. I even have the Word formats. So anything that you shall need to give me the money, I'm going to provide it for you. But my own is to be prepared, that whatever you request for, I have thought ahead and I have prepared it, and I give it to you upon request. And just as a side note, I think I wrote it here somewhere. Just as a side note, you can have your account numbers saved on your clipboard. If you are asking for money for people on WhatsApp, have your account number saved on your clipboard. There are people on my contact list who are very, very busy, that 2 minutes, they are distracted, right? Not really distracted, but they go on to focus on another thing. And if I'm sending my account number 3, 4, 5 minutes after they have said send account details, I will not get the money as urgent as I need it. So I have my account number on my clipboard. So immediately someone is saying send the account details, copy. I just open clipboard, paste. Someone was even shocked. Someone was asking me that, Tolu, you just sent it so fast. Like, are you typing so fast? I just told him that I have it saved on my clipboard. I sent a screenshot of my clipboard with 6 different account numbers saved on the clipboard. So I just needed to send it whenever it was necessary. And then finally, on this note, be ready to travel or live where you are. So definitely have transport